Good evening. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? It's your girl Tiffany coming through here live in effect on this beautiful Tuesday on December the 21st, 2021. Today topic we're gonna go into African Americans communities that was founded by African Americans and that was occupied and ran by African Americans. So what I want to talk about is Orange Mound in Memphis, Tennessee. I know many of us heard about Orange Mound, right? Um, from MJ 8 Ball and MJG. So 8 Ball MJG, they from Orange Mound area, which is the southeastern part of Memphis. Okay. So, a lot of the artists coming up out of Memphis, they known for the crunk sound, they know for the juking, but a lot of people don't know about the history of Orange Mound community. And I want to get into that. I try to pull as much information as I possibly can. So I'm going to use the read materials that I have to go into the history about it. Hey, peace, brother. How you doing? Peace, peace, peace. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so right here, I am on the article called medium.com. Okay. So this article was written on June the 7th of 2019. It says 100 years of Orange Mound, Memphis, America's first Black Mecca. Okay. So it's a Black community that is founded by Black people and that was ran by Black people. It was only for the Black people. Okay. And it says, as Memphis, Tennessee recently celebrated its 200th birthday in May, the country's oldest African American neighborhood is also marking 100 years as an official part of the city of Memphis since 1919. So before Tulsa, Rosewood, and Harlem, there was the Mound. Elvis Presley, the Blues, Beale Street, and even the first 48 have all become synonymous with talks of Memphis, Tennessee. Once you drive over the Shelby County line at the eastern bank of Mississippi River, not only does the landscape change, so does the demographics. The western side of the state is equivalent to another world when you compare it to the less diverse and hilly terrain of East Tennessee. But don't let it fool you. Memphis is more than its stereotype of crime, poverty, and amazing barbecue, but one that includes a very important and necessary history. So it goes on to talk about slavery, Jim Crow, and struggles are often a part of the narrative when discussing Black history. A more melancholy reality to be tied to, but good old Memphis is special. When you speak its name, don't forget to mention it included the first place that Black folks could really do something for themselves. A city known for its large African American population, blues music also birthed a community that became a source of inspiration and economic progress. In 1862, the Union Army took over the city of Memphis during the Civil War, sailing down the Mississippi River from the north. Slaves fled plantation to join the Union, and this resulted in an increase of the Black population in the city of Memphis from approximately 3,000 to 200 to 20,000 by 1865. Around this time, the city also saw its share of rioting, violence, and destruction of Black community that became so brutal. Many Blacks, Memphians, left the area for good. Yet, amidst the rumble, the first African American community built solely by and for African Americans, known as Orange Mound, was born. Okay, so here is you see the basketball court right here. All right, so John George Derrick purchased 5,000 acres of land between 1825 and 1830 for his plantation. He named the neighborhood Orange Mound after the Irish orange hedges that had lined the Derrick plantation. After his death, his widow Mattie sold this property to a white real estate developer by the name of Izzy Eugene Matcham in 1890. During a time where land ownership was very much out of reach for African Americans, Matcham was instructed by Mrs. Derrick not to sell any of the land to Negroes, but he made it his business to just do that, turning a former plantation site into a black mecca. So, okay, so technically, Orange Mound was actually a plantation, right? Okay, it was owned by John George Derrick, and it was he purchased 5,000 land. He purchased 5,000 acres of land, and when he passed away, his widow had took over, and then his widow, right, she sold the property over to someone named Easy Eugene Matcham, and so Mr. Matcham decided that he was going to go ahead and sell the property over to African Americans. So he sold the property over to African Americans, and they took over from there and they created a community out of it. All right. So yeah, so they turned it into a Black Mecca community. After his purchase, he divided the land and assigned a segregated area for African Americans and sold lots for less than $100 a piece. The neighborhood was fairly autonomous, which means that it was just regulated by just Black people alone. You know what I'm saying? It was self-regulated. You know what I mean? It wasn't a lot of interference going on, pretty much. Anyways, and African Americans own not rented their homes. So they own their communities, they own their businesses, they own their houses. And they also say this created a haven where Black people could strive, including building houses, schools, churches, and businesses in which they could economically control. Orange Mound was known to be a little rough compared to surrounding white neighborhoods, but during the Jim Crow era was a status symbol for Black Memphians. It was a community sought after and distinguished as a place that African Americans should dwell in the South, and became the largest Black community next to Harlem in New York City by 1970. Most of its residents were labor workers and successful entrepreneurs. They flourished, raised families, and successful Black children who became well educated, and successful teachers, doctors, and lawyers that made great strides both inside and outside of their community. Okay, so here's the pictures right here. So here's the picture of how Orange Mound was in the beginning in the African American community. Okay. Young men and women get relief from the summer heat swimming at the Orange Mound swimming pool in this undated photograph. All right. Now, Piggly Wiggly. So Piggly Wiggly was the first true self-service grocery store. It was founded on September 6, 1916 at 79 Jefferson Avenue in Memphis, Tennessee by Clarence Saunders. That's funny because we have a Piggly Wiggly out here in Atlanta. All right, so that's the Piggly Wiggly. The mound not only has a strong sense of pride among its native, but it's also rooted in civil rights history and progress. Mount Pisgah CME Church, Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church, and Bulai Baptist Church all played pivotal roles in the civil rights movement by assisting and supporting various activists in their work and providing a place of refuge during segregation. Okay, so here's the Black churches. And of course, it talks about the music. It goes into the music and Melrose. Underground hip hop and blues must have long been a rich part of Memphis tradition, producing legends such as 8-Ball MJG and B.B. King, who played some of his earliest gigs on the stage of the W.C. Handy Theater while staying with his cousin, blues legend and Orange Mound resident Booker White. The Handy Theater hosted the finest in African American entertainment. Little Esther Phillips, Lionel Hampton, Duke Ellington, Lloyd Price, and Ivory Joe Hunter all once graced its stage. The theater site was demolished in 2012. What's up, Brother Bakar? How you doing? Been a long time. How you doing, Brother Bakar? I hope everything's going well with you on your channel. All right. And so as you can see, this is 8-Ball MJG, the legends. right? And then it says under here, it says the hit rap duo 8 Ball MJG, Primo Smith and Marlon Jermaine Goodwin grew up in Orange Mound. They met at Ridgeway High in East Memphis, where many Orange Mound children were educated from the early 1970s to the early 1990s. All right. And so this is Booker T. Washington. Booker White was an African American Delta blues guitarist and singer from Orange Mound. Booker is a phonetic spelling of White's first name. He was named after the well-known African American educator and civil rights activist Booker T. Washington. So he went by the name Booker. Okay. So he was a blues singer. Right. And as you can see, this is the theater where they host a lot of blues musicians during the heyday. Okay. B.B. King is from Indianola, Mississippi. Yeah, I know he was from Mississippi, but I thought he grew up in Memphis, Tennessee somewhere, or moved to Memphis or something. Did he move to Memphis, Tennessee when he was young to start his music career in blues? Because I know he from the Mississippi Delta, but I think he had moved to Memphis, Tennessee, either when he was a teenager or he even grew up there or something. But anyways, it goes in to say if you live in Orange Mound, more than likely you were a proud alumni of Melrose High School. Melrose, known as the heartbeat of the community, produced graduate Dr. Alvin Crawford, who became the first African American to earn a medical degree from the University of Tennessee. He moved to Memphis when he was a young man. Right. Okay. I figured that. Yeah, I figured he did. Move to Memphis. Yeah. I figured he did because Memphis is where a lot of, that's where the origin of blues had started, I think. So Memphis was that foundation where a lot of blues artists came in and they were able to make records. And yeah, a lot of blues artists went to Memphis. You're right. Yeah, a lot of them did because Memphis was the foundation where a lot of blues artists could be able to come and give record labels. And not only was they able to get a record deal, but they was able to like promote their music in the radio station, etc., and go to these nightclubs and all that. So yeah, Memphis was big on blues. Peace, brother Umi. But anyways, continue. Said Merrell, known as the heartbeat of the community, produced graduate Dr. Alvin Crawford, who became the first African American to earn a medical degree from the University of Tennessee. He went on to become an internationally recognized expert in childhood bone disorder with numerous awards for his pioneering work in orthopedic surgery. Okay. All right, so that's the high school, Melrose High. All right. And this was the first junior high school. Okay, and the principal was R.H. Neville. Oh, Mississippi was the origin of blues. I thought it was Tennessee. Tennessee was the origin of country music. Okay, country music came up out of Tennessee. You're right. Okay, yeah, because country music came up out of Tennessee and blues came up out of Mississippi. Yeah, but yeah, at that time, Memphis did create that platform where a lot of blues artists came and got record label deals. You're right. Okay. All right, then. So this is Merrell High School, and that's Dr. Alvin Crawford. So it says the school's famous athletes, including NBA basketball star Bingo Smith, University of Memphis basketball star and coach Larry Finch, NFL football veterans Barry Wilburn, former University of Tennessee national champions Andre Lott and Cedric Wilson, who also won Super Bowl 21, Ezell Jones, Jerome Woods, Olympians Rochelle Stevens, Sheila Eccles, and Kennedy McKinney. As you know, the South takes critical acclaim when it comes to soul food and Southern cooking. Orange Mound is no stranger to that. As you are driving through, you're well advised to pop in at the Orange Mound Grill. This quaint little hole in the wall will satisfy any taste buds. Greens, yams, ribs, and all the fixing are a part of the daily menu. Established in 1947 as a family affair, it has been a long withstanding staple of the community. All right, so here's the restaurant. Then it goes on to say in 2016, Michelle Obama proclaimed Orange Mound as a Preserve America Historic Neighborhood. This designation from the President's Advisory Council on Historic Preservation gives the neighborhood new opportunities for historic preservation and economic development through heritage tourism. It is joined by 904 other Preserve American communities across all 50 states. It's one of 12 in Tennessee, and the first historically African American community to earn this designation in the state. Wow. And it goes on to say over the course of the 80s and 90s, Orange Mound saw its share of obstacles as many African American or as many Black communities do, but revitalization efforts have since brought improvements. What some see as just another hood in Memphis, I see as a strong hub of African Americans who take great pride in their neighborhood. People who have hope, passion, and aspirations. They are intensely dedicated and loyal to its betterment and continue to become influential citizens of Memphis and across the country. When we remember Appalachian and Black American history, Orange Mound should remain an important part of that discussion. After all, it was the very first Black community built for us and by us. And the lady, her name is Angela Dennis. So she wrote this article. This is a very good piece. So you should check it out on medium.com. And let's see. You know what? You're right about that. Maybe I should. Yeah, I should do a video about the blues and go into its origin. Yeah, maybe I should do that. So, one day I'm gonna get like all the materials and then like try to do that because that way, that could be a topic of the conversation. I don't think I did a video on it before. I thought I did, but I don't think so. If I didn't, then I could just go ahead and do it. Yep. So let's see what else can we find out about Orange Mound. So okay, so let's see. Let's look at. Thank you, Brother Bakar. I appreciate it. So let's look at the part where it says drugs and crime, 1980s and 1990s. All right. So it says built on strong families, preachers, churches, and civic pride. This was a huge community of Black homeowners in the 1940s and 50s. Drug and alcohol had been an issue for many years. Once crack entered, the community was destroyed with violence and drug dealing. Drug use devastated poor and middle class families. The community role models shifted away from teachers, preachers, and doctors to drug dealers and gang members. Orange Mound was listed in 1994 as the #1 area for murder, burglaries, and rapes in Memphis. Since 1994, Orange Mound has improved considerably as crime has decreased due to revitalization of the community. Now, And it goes on to say the revitalization in the first decade of the 21st century, Orange Mound has been the focus of a variety of revitalization efforts. One such effort, the Orange Mound Collaborative, funded by Ford Foundation, grant stretches education through empowerment. The Orange Mound Collaborative projects include an early childhood institute and oral history project in which researchers conduct videotape interviews with Orange Mound older residents. Then in 2003, Orange Mound was named one of 21 areas in Memphis that are the focus of smart revitalization plan, servicing the metropolitan area through the redevelopment of target neighborhoods, a public-private partnership to create vibrant neighborhoods in declining areas. All right. Let's see. What else we can find on here? So under here it says Orange Mound Community Garden. A group called the Mid-South Peace and Justice Center helped neighborhood residents to create the Orange Mound Community Garden. Organizer of the garden project hope the project will help beautify the community, provide a source of nutritious food, teach leadership skills, and encourage self-reliance. All right. Then also says online community newsletter. On October the 6th, 2011, a member of the Orange Mound community launched a website for former and current residents of the community and others to follow community events, share community related information, and enlighten each other about the history, events, and vitality of Orange Mound. The website address for the newsletter is www.web.archive.org. orangemoundunited.com. So it's right here on the bottom of the page. Let me see. Let me click on the website. Okay, nothing pulled up on here. Let's see. Okay, so nothing showed up. All right, but oops. Sorry about that. Give me a second. All right. So that's all the information on Wikipedia, and pretty much it covers mostly everything that I was reading about. So right here, as you can see, this is one of the paintings on the wall in Memphis. It says Orange Mound, and it has the bridge. Okay. Yeah, so here's the reference at the bottom of the page. If you guys want to look into more information, if you guys are interested. Also, this is TennesseeEncyclopedia.net. So almost like every state has an encyclopedia website. Georgia has one. Let's see, I think South Carolina has one, and Tennessee has one, and it's multiple of them. Now, not every state got it, but majority of them do. So it's also good to look on your state website to look up for the encyclopedia if you want to find out like the history that has been taking place, the events, etc. And then also look on blackpast.org as well. So as you can see, they have Orange Mound history. Let's see what else is discussed on here. It says Melrose has an active alumni association with chapters in Memphis, Chicago, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and Detroit. This continuing involvement of school alumni with the old school and neighborhood in Memphis provides more evidence of Orange Mound's significance to its residents' sense of identity, a sense that continues to endure even for those who no longer live there today. Okay. All right, so again, you can find this on TennesseeEncyclopedia.net. You can find all this information. All right. And that's all I have for the history about Orange Mound. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I thank you guys for coming in and watching. Thank you for the chat. Thank you, Brother Umi, Brother Bakari. Let's see, Brother Chauncey. Thank you so much for coming through here. I thank you guys for your support. And if you guys want to check out my channel, please do so. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell whenever I come on. And that's all I have for right now. So I will be back later to do another topic. All right. So I haven't came up with a topic yet, but I will keep you guys posted. All right. Until then, take it easy. Peace and power, elevation be to all of you. This your girl Tiffany, and I'm logging out. With that being said, deuces. All right.